So I'm calling the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Welcome, everyone. The commission will review, well, I think we have 3 continued hearings tonight, no new public hearings, and we're not conducting any other business.
2 continued, 1 new.
2 continued, 1 new, thank you. Let's see, we are conducting the meeting online. This is a state of mass executive order suspending certain provisions of open meeting law. The public may access this call through telephone and video conference. As you know, people can ask questions and provide public comment following the petitioner's presentation. And to do so, I think you just need to raise your hand. I see the attendees are slightly, I've got 3 now. So people can raise their hand. And if you're on a phone, you do *9. And then the host, one of us will unmute the microphones. People can then comment. And after you comment, please mute yourself if we forget, just to cut down on the background noise. I think we're going to turn video screens off except for commissioners, Heather, and then the current petitioner.
Right.
And once the petitioner is done, you're free to leave the meeting. And once we get all of our comments and then ask for public comment, we'll take a roll call vote. But why don't we start with roll call for attendance? So why don't I go around the circle? Luis.
Present and accounted for.
Present. Melinda.
Here.
Nia.
Here.
Paul.
Here.
Kate.
Here.
And I'm here as well. So we do have a quorum. Kate's off camera because I'm not sure why. But that's
I'm
okay.
still eating.
All right. So without further ado, I think we're starting with the Colonial Inn 48 Monument Square. Now, did everybody get that photograph? I think Heather posted it to the site as well. Or have a chance to go see the paint sample.
Both. Yes.
All right, so I don't remember who's presenting for the Colonial Inn, Heather.
I don't think it's Andrew Silverman.
Hi. Hello. Hi, this is Kathy Whitbeck.
Hi, Kathy.
Representing the Colonial Inn.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Yes.
Hello. All right, so I think, let's see, this is a repainting the inn discussion. So I don't, Heather, can you share screen
Yes.
and show that picture?
Yeah. Just pull it
So
up.
thank you for putting up that sample. Hi, Catherine. I see you've just joined us. Catherine Mast is also here. So I think Heather is going to share that photograph in a minute. And that is remind me of the name of the color, the yellow.
Bedford Village Inn.
Bedford Village
Yellow.
Yes.
And so we saw a mock-up of the yellow with the black shutters and the white trim, and that's the color scheme. No red doors.
Correct.
No other colors, I don't think. But I don't.
No, it was the maximum was 3. So.
Okay. So I think did everyone have a chance to see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Or at least the photo. Okay. So why don't we go around the circle and just see if people have any final thoughts or comments. Nia, you're first on my rotation.
Okay. Thank you very much for doing the mock-up. I thought that was very helpful. I personally felt that the real life color was quite a bit more intense than the color in the rendering that was presented with the application. And
yeah.
I like the color. I guess one of the things I just wanted to check with the rest of the commissioners is, we look at Monument Square as one continuous streetscape. And I think it's just very important that, whatever color is chosen for the inn is harmonious with the rest of Monument Square. And I think that's something I wanted to just discuss with the other commissioners and see, because to me, this is quite an intense yellow. and it would be a large amount of the color on the existing clapboards. And it abuts red brick on the Lowell Road side. And so I think that also needs to be taken into consideration. I do like it with the black shutters and the white trim. I think that looks crisp and nice. But I'm just a little concerned about the intensity of the color.
All right. Why don't we, before we have a general discussion, let's just go around the circle. Luis, you are next on my my rotation.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. I tend to agree with Nia. The only observation that I make is that it is a freshly painted wall, and that yellow color is going to fade away a little bit, no matter how you play it. And in that setting, I believe that that color would be appropriate. But to be on the safe side, then I would certainly not be opposed to having a slightly lighter color. I believe overall that the color looks okay. And I share with Ania the concerns about the whole harmony from a color standpoint of Monument Square.
All right. Thank you. Paul, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I confess a bias for yellow, and in particular this yellow, because 525 Lexington Road was effectively the same color. In fact, originally as painted was a little more intense, a little brighter, because as Louise says, it does fade, notwithstanding whatever steps are taken by the owner. So I think it's a beautiful color. I think it's going to really dress up the inn and make it look terrific. So I like it. I think it's entirely harmonious, both with what we've done on our American Mile homes and elsewhere in Concord, and I think it'll really add to the square.
Okay. Melinda, thoughts?
I love this color. I think it's really warm. I think when I drove by yesterday, the current color, the building almost fades into the trees around it. You really almost don't see 3/4 of the building because it's so dark.
Right.
I think it will be great for them in terms of reminding people that they're there. I actually would be a little afraid to have it go too light, because I think that could be almost garish. I was glad to see it because it was a different color than what we had seen on the computer last week. But I think this is great.
Okay, thank you. Kate.
I liked the color just the way it was, but the issue isn't really whether we like it or not, whether it's appropriate for the district and for Monument Square. And can you get them out of here? Sorry. So I sat at different parts of Monument Square, and I looked at it for a while from across the street at the Christian Science Church, which is sort of an ivory. Then there's the then there's the Masonic Lodge, which is brick. The Holy Family Parish House, which is gray, like Holy Family Church across the way. Townhouse is gray. Is brick. I don't think it would clash with any of those things. The color, and especially in a 3-color scheme, is appropriate for sort of the time that I think captures the most amount of the building's architecture, if you know what I mean, because it's, it says 1716 on the sign, but there's nothing 1716 in that building. It's Greek Revival, some Federal. There's a second Empire window above the portico. So this color yellow, I feel, is pretty safely in, the sort of second half of the 1800s. And, against the red brick, I actually think it might even make it look a little better, the newer red brick that's in the back of the inn. But I don't want to get into what looks better or not. It's more, does it suit the district? And I think it would. I think the only question that we'd want to ask ourselves is, what if other buildings said, you know, like, yeah, actually, I think I want to be pink and I'd like to be light green and whatever else. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's just always helpful to sort of think of any kind of domino effect.
Okay, Kate, can I ask you a quick question since you've done more of this like in Georgetown? For this general period of time, what colors were available besides white? I mean, it doesn't strike me that there were that many colors available sort of.
Well, let's see. So this kind of yellow, a yellow that's got more of like a white and ivory underbase would be more like 1870s, you know, around then. You know, prior to that, yellow wasn't much of a color. What you might have seen were more like in late 1700s, early 1800s, earth tones that could approach yellow. That would be, yeah, like would be like almost a mustard or a maize color or something like that. Yeah. So it's so I think it's the time of this color, especially if it's in a 3-color scheme, because 4-color scheme came later in the 19th century. Is fine. I don't see any.
Okay.
You know, any disharmony with that color.
Okay.
Thinking that you're going to, you know, pin that building vaguely 1865-ish, you know, it's fine.
Right. Civil War. Okay, Catherine, do you have any thoughts?
I do. I think that I agree with everyone that I think basically within the context of the other buildings on the square, the yellow is going to be very appropriate, and I think it's going to look nice in conjunction with the building on the right that's going to be gray. I also think that seeing the painted swatch in conjunction with the current gray siding is actually creating a bit of a vibration to that yellow that I don't think is going to be as present when you know, it's painted.
Sure.
The entire building is painted yellow, so there's a bit of a kind of color theory thing happening there in terms of the resonance and the vibration of that yellow against the gray. So in other words, I think it's going to be over time and in general softer than what we're necessarily seeing in that swatch. So I think it's going to be lovely. I think it's appropriate.
Okay. And the only other comment I'd add is I actually think it's a very welcoming color, which is appropriate for an inn. So I think it's the end of Monument Square. It says, "Welcome to Concord." That can't go wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Agreed.
So, all right. So I guess unless there are any commissioners have any other thoughts or comments, or can we open it up to public comment? Seeing none, I would open it up to public comment. I don't know, let me see how many participants do we have. Is there any public comment on the Colonial Inn repainting? I think we've got 2 other people on the phone, neither of whom are raising their hands. So I think we're ready to take a vote. So I would look for a motion.
I move that we approve the application for 48 Monument Square to repaint the Colonial Inn Bedford Village in yellow as submitted.
I second.
All right, thank you. All in favor? Let me just go around the circle.
Me.
Yes,
Excuse
sorry,
me.
Paul, yes.
Don't we have to approve the other colors as well?
The black
white
and the white. That's a good question.
Yes.
Have those been submitted on the application, Heather?
I think they're seeking approval for all 3 colors.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think there were specific colors for the other 2 because I think it's existing.
So it's matching existing.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's matching existing for the trim and the shutters. So that's no change technically.
Well, should I add with black shutters and white trim to match?
To match existing.
Just
yes,
so to be clear, to add that to my motion, please.
Senor, are you all right with that second there?
I agree. I second that.
All right. I will go around the circle in favor. Nia,
Aye.
Luis,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Melinda,
Aye.
Kate,
Aye.
and Catherine.
Hi.
And I'm also an affirmative. All right. Well, thank you very much. You're approved.
Well, thank you all very, very much. I appreciate it. That's
All right.
wonderful.
We look forward to it. What's the schedule? Did you tell us that already?
Well,
Are we going right now?
No, yeah, we don't have a schedule right now because of what's going on with COVID-19. We're just trying to really understand when we're going to be reopening, getting ready for that. So it's going to be a different, new norm for us, at least for this year.
Okay.
So
just keep us posted.
yeah.
This approval is good for how long?
Six months.
So if it goes
Right.
longer than that, just keep us. Tell Heather.
Most certainly I will. And
Okay.
I thank you all very much.
All right. Be well.
Okay. Be safe and be healthy. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Okay. You too. All right. Thank you, folks. Next on the agenda, this is another continued hearing. This is 330 Monument Square to replace an existing fence and gate. And again, Heather,
330 Main.
what, sorry?
330 Main Street.
Oh, it says 330 Monument Square on the notes for some reason. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. That's probably my fault.
That's all right. So 330 Main Street. I think what we did this last meeting, we looked at this and I believe the applicant was going to come back with a slightly different. Did you email us something, Heather? Forgive me
Yes.
for.
Yeah,
and of
there were
course, I'm not looking at it.
a different gate.
Let me see if I can find it. Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a proposed new gate for the east and west. So this is different. The last time we were looking at a board fence with a kind of solid, much taller. So this is, frankly, this is essentially what the commission was hinting at. A 4-foot high solid fence with a couple of feet of open trellis above, or open fence, top fencing, and then an arch over the gateway. So are there other drawings to look at, Heather?
I think just like examples around town.
I am. Can you
Oh,
hear
there we
me?
go. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very helpful.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if they know I'm here.
I think they have to make you live.
I know, but I
Okay.
don't know if they know I'm here.
Yeah.
And
Hello there. Now we can see you.
You can see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Okay.
too. Yes. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Welcome. So is there anything else you'd like to tell us about this design, or did I go ahead and step on your toes and already
No,
describe it?
thanks.
I
No,
think I
you
already did it.
described it absolutely, and I did add the fence, another gate on the other side of the house to this because I thought as long as we were going about it, we may as well replace that rotten gate as well. And that's the one that's up right now, the one that I added. And you'll see to the left of that, our immediate neighbor
Oh, I
has a
see.
similar fence, although that one is 7 feet high with about 15 inches of more of the open work at the top. And I apologize, last time I hadn't done really my homework in terms of neighbors' fences, but I did look around, took pictures, and included this time photographs of many of our neighbors who have similar fences, 6 feet tall, with a little bit of open work at the top, or some of them don't have open work. But I tried to come up with something that I thought would be, appropriate and respond to what you had given us feedback about. This is the neighbor directly across the street that you see here.
Okay.
And
all right.
everybody
Go ahead,
has
sorry.
put up fairly tall fences because we do have a lot of traffic, particularly at rush hour when we have thousands of cars, literally thousands of cars an hour coming by the house. It gets pretty noisy. So.
Okay. Must be nice and quiet now, unfortunately.
It is lovely and quiet, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Why don't I go around and ask the commissioners for input? Nia, you're first on my list.
Thank you for submitting the new design. I think is very much is appropriate for what we were talking about last time, and I'm perfectly comfortable with this. I just want to be clear, so you're putting the exact same thing, obviously different dimensions, but on the other side as well. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Yes, I'm fine with this.
Okay. Luis.
I really have no real comments. I think that it's still a little too high, but I don't know what would be the better solution. I think that that's a good compromise, and that fence will meld well with the neighborhood and will fulfill the purpose of the applicant, which is to achieve some privacy.
Okay. Thank you. Paul.
Yeah, what's the consistency of the fence, or is it painted, basically?
Yes,
What's the color?
it will be painted the color of the house, which is an off-white. I can't remember the name of it, but it was approved by the commission 2 years ago.
Okay. I have no comments on the design of the fence or the height or anything like that. Is the arch over the gate a trellis?
It is just a single arch.
Just a single arch.
Which we have a climbing hydrangea.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Melinda, any thoughts?
I agree that it's a nice compromise. It's nice that you took our suggestions and did something that I think is better than what we first saw. I think it's lovely. I think it'll be great.
All right. Thank you. Kate, any thoughts?
Oh, there we are. Okay. Yes, I think this fence is appropriate for the house and for the neighborhood. I thought the additional pictures from the neighbors was very useful. And I think the dimensions are fine. 4 feet high for the solid part, because especially that east gate, it's pretty exposed. I mean that you really can see through that area. So if I were a homeowner, I would want that a little bit bottled up myself. Molly, just one question. Is the arch going to be on east and west gates, or just the east one?
Definitely on the east one, because we already have a climbing hydrangea there. On the west one, I don't have a vine right there right now, and there is no arch now. And I thought I'd wait and see about the cost. Does it matter to you one way or the other?
No, I was just wondering. I mean, historically, if you consider not truly historically, but let's say more traditionally, the east side being more the main egress, maybe that would be the one that have the arch, and the other one wouldn't necessarily, but that's totally up for grabs. It's me just being curious.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Catherine, any thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's my immediate reaction to the sketch was that it's going to be a much more harmonious, integrated within the context of the neighborhood and the house. And I think the open work at the top just makes it much more soft and elegant, and I think it'll be great.
Okay. And I have no comments. So I think unless there are other comments from commissioners, why don't we open it up to public comment? And we have one person. I think, Patrick, you're the only person in the public. If you have any comment, go ahead and unmute yourself. And I don't think there are any comments, so I'll look for a motion.
I move that we approve the application for 330 Main Street to relocate and replace the existing fence and gate. Now, originally, Heather helped me here. The original application was for 1 gate. Do we just say for 2 gates as submitted, or as amended, or?
Yeah, so this motion, it's fine that we added the 2 gate, just because the way we worded the legal ad is kind of, it just says replace existing gate. So
okay,
and add the 2nd gate to this. We already approved the fencing though. So this motion's just
for the gates. Okay, so take that back. Forget the fence. motion to approve both fences, both gates.
I second.
All right, thank you for the second. All in favor? I'm just going to go around. Nia?
Aye.
Just one quick
Yes,
comment.
sorry, Heather.
You want to clarify that the left gate can either have the arch or not have the arch? That you're open to either, or?
Yeah, that's a good point. I was
Owner's
just thinking that
discretion.
before you said it. Like, should we clarify on that? Commissioners, thoughts on having the arch on both sides of the house? Is that too busy? You know,
And no strong feeling.
no strong feeling. Oh,
What? No, I don't care.
you don't. I mean, okay. No one has any strong feeling. And Molly, you don't know yet either, right? You guys are.
I don't know. I don't have I don't have any strong feeling about having.
Why don't
it.
we, can we leave it up to the owner's discretion?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Would just put that in the motion that the left gate can either have the arch to match or not.
Yeah. owner's
Okay, so that's what, the west gate?
Yes.
The
Yes.
west gate, yeah, so just add that to the motion, please.
All
And
right.
I
that's,
second the
motion
motion
that
as
has been
amended.
Seconded, and Nia, you're still aye.
Yes?
Luis?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Melinda?
Aye.
Kate?
Aye.
And Catherine?
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. So thank you. You're approved.
Thank you.
All right. So that will come to you in the mail, correct, Heather? A little certificate of appropriateness.
I think Heather's mailing them, yeah.
Okay.
I gave her the night off, so she's not here today to confirm.
All right. Well, I know building permits have started to flow and all that good stuff. So good luck and thank you for such a good presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. And then for our final, that's our last continued hearing. We have one public hearing, Patrick Toomey, 380 Lexington Road. We're looking at replacing front steps and a walkway. And Patrick, you're welcome. I think you're unmuted now. I hope. There you are.
If I may interject before the discussion starts, I will recuse myself from this discussion as I am a neighbor.
Okay.
I live one house in between the applicant. So I will
Thank
turn
you.
off my video and I will listen to the proceeds. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Patrick, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us what you're doing there.
We're looking to replace the front walkway, which is probably 35 to 40 years old.
Mhm.
And we would replace it with it's currently 36 inches wide. The new one would be 4 feet wide, and it would start at the driveway with a granite piece against the driveway, and then the brick would pick up there. You can see where the driveway is on one of the pictures. And yeah, there it is. And it would go up. There is an incline there. There's currently 2 granite steps, but one's granite, one's just another piece of rock, but it's not granite. They would be replaced, and there might be a need for a third one to gain elevation, but they would be granite pieces like the steps to the house. So a smooth surface on where you walk, and then a little rougher. You can see the 2 granite steps, and then the landing that are up against the house in one of the pictures. The picture that shows the house, all from Lexington Road.
Okay. All right.
There you are. So the granite steps that would be installed would be similar to the granite steps that are on the front of the house, but obviously only 4 feet wide.
Okay. All right. Any other parts of the application? Is there any lighting or railings?
No lighting. No lighting.
Any railings considered or no?
No, we're not. Everything is on the ground. It's not touching the house. So other than right at where it touches the granite steps at the front entrance to the house. So no railings, no lighting for it.
Okay, and same pattern of brick? Is it a, forgive me, I'm drawing a blank on the pattern.
Soldier's course?
It's a,
The long one's a soldier's course, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know the name of the bricks would not be going the same way as you see in the pictures that I submitted. They would be going across.
So 90 degrees. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, but a similar, in other words, not a herringbone or a.
No, it's,
Okay.
if there's a picture, a fourth picture that shows the brick that we're proposing.
Mhm.
And it also shows some existing brick. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Existing brick behind the house that was installed when we put on the addition. So that's the way the brick would go.
Oh.
Okay, okay.
Nice pattern.
Not the way the new bricks are laid out. That was just how.
Oh, I see.
The
So
contractor.
we're looking
must-
at the pattern.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Okay,
the pattern.
so it's a right, it's straightforward.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank on what that.
Yeah, me too.
Running bond.
Running bond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Having a senior
I went to
moment.
school way too long ago.
Same with me.
Okay. I don't have any. And then is it this set in a bed, or is it sand grout or?
Yeah, the contractor provided a description, and so they excavate down 1 foot to 1.5 foot, then build up the base using a compacted graded base system. So you can read it, or if you have trouble
there it
reading
is.
it.
There you go. Grout of your choice. Okay. I mean, you can't really see it from the road anyway. At that level of detail, I don't think. All right. Anything else, Patrick, or can I go around and just get commissioners in?
Just that the bricks, the picture of the bricks that I submitted was to show the relationship to the bricks that are already installed in the back of the house.
Mhm.
But they are not the same bricks, because the bricks that are installed at the back of the house were from a company in Vermont that has since gone under or been acquired. These bricks are from Maine, and I just submitted this picture to show how close they were in terms of color to the existing brick. They're not the same, but they're close.
Yeah, looks like a pretty close match. Okay. All right, Nia, any thoughts?
I have no problem with the brick or the granite or the layout. I was just interested that the bricks are going to be grouted and not done in stone dust. Is that correct?
There will be a grout, yes. It'll be.
Interesting.
I asked him about that. It's not. He gave me the contractor provided me with an address of somebody who had this and who he had installed for as well. And I went and looked at that. It doesn't look like, the grout that you see, a wide grout between the bricks. I don't want that look.
Right. Okay.
What might be on a building, for instance. I don't want that look. So I think that the joint, it will be filled with grout, but it's, when I went and looked at the other house, I couldn't tell that there was a grout.
Thank you. It just seemed sort of unusual to me, and I agree with you that I was imagining some thick grout line that.
Yeah, I don't want an institutional look.
Right. Okay. Thank you for answering that.
Paul, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think the grout is really stabilizing and to hold the bricks in position and doesn't rise to ground level. I think more typically a stone dust is laid in between, just swept onto the stones to fill those cracks. But in any event, I think I don't have any problem with the design or either the steps or the brick or the color or anything else. I think it'll
Okay.
look great.
Melinda, thoughts?
I think it's lovely, and I have a brick path, and I want to do just what you've done. And I have no objection to anything that you've suggested.
Okay. Kate, any thoughts?
Is it Kate?
Yeah, Kate.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I just went out to check my own brick walk, which is from the late 19th century, and there's some, yeah, there. I agree with Paul that the grouting is to just kind of stabilize it. It's not a big thick grout. The other thing too is the contractor that Mr. Toomey's working with, David Bergquist, is a real stickler. He does terrifically. He does terrific work, and he's very historically well versed. And yeah, I mean, he's like the best you could get for this sort of thing.
Great.
So
Kate.
I'm good with it.
Catherine, any thoughts?
I think it looks great. I think it's going to be fine.
All right, and my only comment is that it's really barely visible from Lexington Road. So at this level of detail, I think it's going to look terrific. All right, so Luis has recused himself. We have no public in the gallery, but I'll ask the world, is there any public comment on the application for
I can make a comment as a member of the public.
Yes, you can do that.
I believe that this is a great addition. I think that is a charming house. And the only thing that actually you see missing is some kind of an inviting pathway that is seen from the driveway. Like saying, you know, just follow this path and you'll be fine. The pathway that you see is coming from the garage. So I think that this will improve substantially the way that the house looks and the way that it interacts with the public spaces in Lexington Road.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, well, I would look for a motion. I think we've arrived at consensus.
Okay.
I move, or Nia, do you want to go?
No, go ahead, Paul.
I move that we approve the certificate or the application for certificate of appropriateness for the property at 280 Lexington Road.
380.
380 Lexington Road as represented to the commission tonight in terms of brick, the underpinnings, the base, the mortar, and the steps to the house and in the course of the walkway. I think there are 2 granite steps on the walkway itself.
Yes.
Oh, possibly 3.
I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Nia. All right, all in favor, Nia, you're first.
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Like it's your motion, so. Melinda?
Aye.
Kate?
Aye.
Catherine?
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. So thank you, Patrick. You're good to go.
Thank you.
All right, and Luis, thank you for staying in the gallery.
It
All
was
right,
tough.
Thanks, Louis.
Thank you. Good to see you.
So Luis will be over for chicken. I have to close the meeting.
Okay.
Kate's got the wine.
I'm done with
Paul's
you.
on the Cape, so we're screwed there.
I've got the shrimp.
You got the shrimp. All right. Boy, I wish we could do this. All right, I think we're done, and we can't do any other business, so I'd look for a motion to adjourn our meeting. As nice as it is to see you all.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Wow, we got a double motion there. People are thirsty.
Yeah. I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right,
All right.
I think we're all eyeing. It's a full unanimous aye.
Aye.